Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Newscast. I am Lou Mongello from WDWRadio.com, and today is Wednesday, March 14th, 2012, and we are coming to you live from the new Fantasyland, Storybook Circus here in Walt Disney World. I'm joined tonight by Ryan Wilson of the Main Street Gazette over at mainstgazette.com, and Glenn Whalen from Pretty Good Movie Ride and a site to be named later.
Googling WDW.
Googling. We'll get to Googling because I want to hear more about Googling, and so do they. But real quick before we get started, tonight's show is once again sponsored by our friends over at Touring. They'll help you save up to 4 hours per park thanks to their Lines application, fast pass times, crowd calendars, wait times. I'm sure there's more.
Everything, yeah.
Lines application on your iPhone or Android device. Check them out over at touringplans.com. So let's get right into this week's Walt Disney World news because there's lots of good new stuff that's here and some new stuff that's coming. Let's talk about what's coming first, and then we're going to get to where we are because that's the big news of the week. First thing is, rumor finally been confirmed that Kim Possible is going away. You're supposed to make the sad
What?
sound. Yes. Kim Possible is going away. So, thank you. Go save the world while you can, but you'll have even more opportunity coming this summer because the rumor is now true as Disney has confirmed that Agent P is going to join you as helping you. Agent P you're going to join Agent P to help save the world from the evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz. You're now going to get a, quote, high-tech secret agent device and get clues about each case. It's going to take you through a lot of that, through 7 different World Showcase countries, Mexico, France, Germany, Norway, Japan, China, and the UK. You're going to search the country for clues and some evilinators.
Evilinators?
Thank you very much. That is going to begin, I believe, that later on this summer. Kim Possible is going to close the summer. Phineas and Ferb are going to open right after. We talked about this when it was rumor. I think a lot of people are really excited. I mean, it just makes complete and total sense. Kim Possible, from what I understand, has been off the air for quite a while, so I think there was a relevancy issue, especially for younger kids. Everybody loves Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Whether you are, I mean, my kids watch it, adults watch it. I think I see more adult males wearing platypus shirts than I do young kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a good thing. Because like Sorcerers, it's going to continue to get everybody involved again. It's peeling back another layer of the onion over at World Showcase. But let's get past that. That's coming in the future. Let's talk about what's here now, because Monday heralded the soft, although it's not really very soft, opening of Storybook Circus here in Fantasyland at Walt Disney World. And we're actually standing in Storybook Circus by the all-new Fantasyland Railroad Station, appropriately and affectionately named the Carolwood Park Station, which I like. Ryan and I came out here very early Tuesday morning to get a good look because we're total nerds and we were snapping pictures of everything else other
Anything
than
we forget.
right. That's why we're back here, because there's a lot of great little details. So Ryan, what was your sort of first impression as you? I mean, you didn't walk in; you ran here practically.
Yeah, we sprinted. No, it's you see all the walls on one side, but it's so incredibly close. The story that you get from here that you didn't get from Toontown, which we talked about a little bit, like it was just stuff put together.
Right.
Here you have the circus coming to town from all angles, from the pavement to the buildings. It's
So the background music, there's a whole new background music loop, which really helps to set the tone. When you walk into Storybook Circus, again, it's not complete. Only Dumbo, the Great Goofini, or the Barnstormer. Now it's the Barnstormer with the Great Goofini is open, and the railroad station. Only one of the dueling Dumbos is open. The new one, while they still retrofit sort of the old Dumbo, but when you walk in, you almost sort of get a little disoriented because it looks nothing like the old Toontown. The color palette is completely different. It's very bright with a lot of reds and yellows and blues. And you feel as though, especially when you see the Dumbo circus tents, that you are sort of entering sort of a circus town. And it like you said, those details are sold from not only what you see up above, but even in the pavement. You know, there's animal prints and elephant tracks and railroad tracks. There's peanuts embedded in the ground, not edible peanuts, but
no, we can't eat those.
I've tried.
Yeah.
You know, I've always felt, I just walked through here just briefly just to get here right now, and it always seemed to me that with the exception of Mickey's house everything was it seemed like it was sort of thrown together.
Well,
And what is open is much more settled down, and there's much more visual storytelling, a very punny trip into here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
Yeah, so, I mean, you get a sense, and you're right, because Toontown was the leftovers of what was thrown together in 6 months for Mickey's Birthday
To
Land.
last for 1 year for the birthday celebration.
Yeah.
Talk about getting your ROI out of your temporary tents. You know, they kept on sort of upgrading them and fitting them, but they still sort of had that
It was all
temporary
retrofit.
feel to it. Now you feel as though this land was built from the ground up here. You almost don't get a sense that the Great Goofini was the old barnstormer.
No, and it's what we talked about earlier. The layout of the land is so different.
Yeah.
You can't even remember what was there. It's so disorienting.
Yeah, and you enter the barnstormer now from the old exit.
Right.
Super well themed. A lot of really neat details in the queue, beyond the queue, on the attraction itself, and then Dumbo 2 is it's beautiful. I mean, it's like a whole new attraction again with those bright purples and reds. They've added a water element feature, which doesn't affect the ride vehicles at all. And I love the sound of the train. But sort of around the base and at night, and that's part of the reason why we're here tonight, because it's almost like World of Color on Dumbo.
The glowing water. You have the story panels now on the bottom telling you the story of Dumbo. It's just an incredible job that they've done putting it all together.
And this is really just the very beginning of what is to come for Storybook Circus. I smile because I love the Walt Disney World Railroad. Because only one of the Dumbos is open.
Right.
The second one is still under construction. We haven't had a chance to see yet the interactive queue.
Yeah, that's so close.
We were kind of disappointed. We were hoping maybe we'd see what was going on inside. Great Goofini is up and done. The train station is done. We're actually standing on the exit loading platform. There's crates and a lot of really neat details that could be found here. But you can also see beyond the walls the rest of the story that's starting together. And you were able to start putting some of those pieces together with this whole idea of tying in the Carolwood, obviously after Walt's Backyard Railroad, the sort of Carolwood Park train depot.
Right, you can see the end of a railroad line. You can see the restrooms are kind of the roundhouse, and you have all the different railroad tracks going off in different directions. Where the circle is actually going to be, you can tell is where Casey Jr. is going to be, and all the water elements. You only have half the story right now, but what an amazing half a story we have.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. I mean, we were tempted as we were walking through, taking pictures of this sort of train depot where the restrooms are housed. We sort of looked at each other like, we really need to put our cameras away at this point because that's where the inappropriate photos. But even the restrooms are beautiful, and as we can see, the rest of Storybook Circus, we're going to walk you through it, starting to take shape. The tents are getting their coverings, or tents, so you can really get a sense that it's very, very close to the opening, which is supposed to, I believe, still take place at the end of this month.
I believe so, yeah.
March 31st is going to be the official opening. But the one thing that we also noticed too were the crowds, and I think some of the crowds were just sort of wandering the park. They were put on some of the park maps. We found two different versions of park maps, one with Storybook Circus on it, one without it, and some other people, nerd alert, that were coming here just to see, don't laugh, you're here too, just to see Storybook Circus.
No, there's a huge crowd of people coming in just for this reason, and you saw them all rush back here in the morning and met a lot of friends, met a lot of new friends, met a lot of old friends, but everyone wanted to see what they had actually opened up for everyone to see.
And speaking of showing people what they want to see, that's why we're here.
Gotta give them what they
want.
want.
So what do you say we take a little tour of Storybook Circus? Let's take a little walk and tour Storybook Circus. I'm going to ask. Oh, you are the man.
Oh, look at that.
So
show them what they were sitting on.
Let's show you where all the box people were sitting. You can see again, very well themed. There is luggage, just as though you were at the Main Street Railroad Station or the Frontierland Railroad Station. There's luggage here, again, with lots of stickers talking about places like Las Vegas, the Yellowstone Park, Fargo, North Dakota, the Hotel Regis, Detroit, Michigan, and here, too, you see another sense. So it also gives you a sense of time, too. It definitely doesn't have a 2012 feel to it. It's got that sort of, maybe 1920s, 30s, sort of feel to what it is. And I'm sure in time we'll start to decipher what some of those references mean and why they are there, because as we all know, everything has a reason. But the train station was built from the ground up. Again, it's a beautiful station with a lot of brick and a shingled roof. Again, it almost looks as though It's an old-style barn, and I have never seen the railroad as crowded as it has been, because I think it has once again become an attraction, especially for people coming in and out of the Fantasyland station. We'll, of course, be able to hear it as it goes by, and you'll watch me smile again. Over the wall back here, if I was taller, you'd get a much better view, trust me. But over the wall, you can get a sense of what else is starting to be pulled together. You can see one of the Storybook Circus tents without its covering. And just in the last day or so, you see the red tent right here has started to get its covering on it. Again, Disney being able to repurpose the tents that have been here since 1988. One thing we noticed too, as soon as we walked in, maybe hard for you to see, is that even the pavement is well themed. Just as though if you go to Wilderness Lodge or Disney's Animal Kingdom, you'll find elephant tracks, you'll find peanuts embedded in the ground, you'll find other animal prints, as though the circus really has come to town. Ryan noticed the other day, there are a number of, is that our first official hidden, is that your first Hidden Mickey?
That is a Hidden Mickey.
Somebody submit this to Steve Barrett over at hiddenmickey'sguide.com.
My foot is on.
Your foot, you just stepped on the first Hidden Mickey. That's all you. But again, you can see, Ryan pointed out the other day, you get a sense that there's railroad tracks coming out from behind this wall. You said that's going to be sort of like a roundhouse. And as odd as it sounds, even the restrooms are beautiful.
Yes.
These may be the prettiest restrooms in all the Magic Kingdom. But it looks as though, again, you can see from the wooden doors, it's as though this is where trains would sort of be parked at night. Let's bring you into Storybook Circus proper. And the first thing you can see in front of us, obviously, is it's the Barnstormer. So at one point, I thought the name was supposed to be the Great Goofini, but it's now the Barnstormer featuring Goofy as the Great Goofini. That may be if that's the official title, that's the longest attraction title in Disney World history. And we'll take you by it as well. But here is the train depot, again, built from the ground up. You'll see up on top, it may be hard for you to spot, there's a clock up on top that bears the symbol of the Cowlwood Pacific Historical Society, and it says Cowlwood Park. The weather vane is a clock.
Train.
I'm sorry, I meant to say right. This is what giving up coffee for Lent does to you.
This is what I'm trying to get, yeah. I'm your fact checker, don't worry
Thank
about
you.
this.
But again, it's a beautiful station. And I'm sort of happy they tore down that very temporary sort of overhang that they had for Toontown. If it wasn't so crowded in there, well, we can show them at least one of them. So there are sort of attraction posters showing you what's coming as part of the circus. There's Dumbo the Flying Elephant, amazing at the Storybook Circus. And although I'm scared of clowns, there's clowns down there on the bottom. And the only remnant I can see of Toontown is the old water tower and the sort of the utility shed over there in the corner.
They moved space now.
Now, Ryan, we had a chance to ride the Great Goofini the other morning. One time really wasn't enough because there was so much. We were letting people pass as we were walking through. But it's really well themed. It's a great little, somewhat hidden tribute to the old Goofy's Barnstormer. Because if you look on the back of the sign, you'll see that the sign is made up of pieces of wood that used to make up the old Barnstormer sign when this was Mickey's Toontown Fair. But as you go through, again, you see now that you enter in an extended queue in what used to be the exit, and there's really great detail. So you can see the Great Goofini's cannon there.
He lands right over here.
Well, he doesn't necessarily land successfully, but
it's a landing of sorts.
It's a landing. But in the queue, you'll find his cannon. You'll find it's the Wheel of Destiny, the Wheel of Peril. And this is a great little detail too. It's hard to see now, but it's the rocket with the old sort of horse saddle on the side, and it's hard to see at night, but there's smoke coming out of the end, just as though the rocket literally might have just crashed. And you can see, obviously, the queue extends through. And I gotta tell you, this is beautiful. And look, it's actually red. Look.
Yeah.
We just noticed, I don't know if you guys can see, that the tail of the rocket's actually red. Ryan, he so wants to get his camera out, it's killing him. But
I have the tripod, I have everything. I'm ready to go.
But they even put little targets and sort of circus images on there as shade covering, which is great, sort of thinking ahead for what it's going to be like here in the summer. Again, you can see that they are not only utilizing, but sort of expanding on the original tent that was here when this original tent was the county bounty. The judge's tent, which used to be next door, is now getting the red covering on it. And what we were wondering too, Ryan, as we were walking through and looking at the queue here, was will this be a fast pass attraction? Because you see they do have a sign that says "Time for Flying." So there does seem to be two entrances here, assuming one of them is eventually going to be a fast pass entrance. Oh, look at a cool little, the wait time is a digital, we're sort of noticing additional details. And yes, I do make the 35-inch height requirement because I have newspapers in my shoes.
That's right.
They've already have a lot of great posters up here, and I sort of look at this. So the Great Goofini Aquamaniac, I look at this attraction poster as a not so subtle tribute to Goofy the water skier when he used to water ski on the Seven Seas Lagoon those many years ago.
Well, and you can even see that it looks like Goofy has a sidekick, and every panel is the monkey.
Who's the monkey?
He's in all the panels, yeah.
That was my worst impression. I am so sorry.
I got called Yoda for my Doofenshmirtz earlier.
Well, and we also see, and there's a bear here, but we'll see the sign too. We're seeing Humphrey the Bear getting some love as well, and a lot of early animation fans are happy to see, or will be happy to see Humphrey. The other thing I saw too the other day, again, you can see this is where the Barnstormer breaks through the billboard, is the reference to the old Skylidoscope.
Yes.
I didn't notice that until we were going through the pictures the other day.
Yeah.
But all the old Toontown elements, which were funny, sort of the ears of corn and the squash and things like that, are gone. But as we were walking through the queue, everything's been repainted, everything's been rethemed, really, really well done.
Landscaping's gorgeous. Yeah.
We have to stay here and watch it come through, of course. And the fun thing too is the Barnstormer is geared towards children, but it's still, it's a short attraction, but it's still a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So let's move over and show everybody Dumbo, because I think that's what a lot of us have been waiting to see.
And one other thing we were talking about yesterday was all the walls. They've built in basic seating everywhere throughout the land.
So again, what is probably going to be this roundhouse area here, it's nice because especially when parents are coming here with their kids or grandma wants to have a seat, they can sit out here. But for things like Dumbo, where they're going to have the interactive queue, that's what I'm really curious to see, how that is going to be implemented, what that's going to be like. You can see here, and we'll try and get as close as we can to actually get a good look at it. First of all, the castle from here, it's a view we haven't seen in quite a long time. But if we take a look at Dumbo, it's just so beautifully illuminated, again, in those golds and purples. Let's see if maybe we can go around this way and get a good look at it. And let's show you quick the new Fantasyland costumes. We're just looking at your new costume, Holly. Comfortable, cozy, love it. I dig the tails. I love the tails. It's very elegant. Awesome. What do you guys think of the new Dumbo?
We love it. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I love it at night. This is my first time seeing it at night. It is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Let's go on the train.
So here's sort of the Dumbo ticket booth. There's a clock on there as well, so you wonder if there's going to be a fast pass here too. Oh, this is nice. So you can actually come right up to it as well. And hopefully you can see the water element adds such a nice touch to it. Much more pronounced than you have over at Aladdin in Adventureland. And again, just look at how the color changes.
Just raise the magic little light for me. Okay, Dumbo, let's get this show on the road.
Not only do you see Dumbo, but you got Jumbo in the middle too. Now, the people who are watching Dumbo can't tell that the 5 grown men who are watching Dumbo spinning are all smiling.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's like we're the
I
color.
love the story.
Yeah, the little vignettes inside.
Cinderella. That was
Okay, everybody, now just stay seated until Dumbo comes to a stop. Then you can walk to the nearest
if only. I'm
Say
probably like
yes,
a
sir.
minute and a half behind them. I'm listening. About a minute and a half delay. But it's fun. I was listening on my way over here.
I just noticed up on top of the Barnstormer Tower, the blinking red lights for the airplane.
The air tower, right?
I think it was a great repurposing of the old attraction without having to level it. Even the colors of the individual Dumbo vehicles are beautiful. They've all been repainted.
A
Yeah.
lot of it neat, new colors.
And you know what? It's got. I think the new Dumbo colors really give you more of a feel, that sort of 40s feel, like from the film, as opposed to the bright pastels that used to be.
Somewhere I saw.
Sorry?
The water and the lighting of a very different attraction.
It's a different attraction, right? Absolutely.
Somewhere I saw that the underneath of the ears painted a different color in the hoods and the trunk.
Oh yeah, so you can see the
I
pink
think
on the.
that's like a first. They didn't have that before. Like they have it underneath the ears. And
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, you're right. The ears are pink, and so are the bottom of their feet, hooves. Hooves, feet.
Some of the water droplets are in the shape of hidden Mickeys.
That is true.
The bubbles, yeah.
So look.
And one of them's a hidden Donald.
Just one.
Very, very strange.
And you really can't get a sense, probably watching in the box, but from here. So just kind of imagine when this is done, when these walls are down, and you have the view of Prince Eric's castle, the waterfalls and the water elements that are going to be going on in the Fantasyland forest aspect of
Especially
Fantasyland.
this time of day when the sun's coming down. The sun comes down right over that, so you get a beautiful sunset over that area.
When they had done, Toontown was so compressed, they wanted to feel intimate so that you're close to everything. But this opens up so much.
Yeah.
It feels like, look at this area, it seems as large as the park as we've been used to.
And you also, it seems like it's much larger.
Yes.
Than, it seems huge. Like that's why I said it was somewhat disconcerting, because it didn't feel like it was the same space.
Show on the road.
Did you feel that? That little pang of guilt that I'm here without my children? It's gone now, but for a second I felt it.
I feel bad that I'm here without your children, actually, yeah.
I mean, that's gorgeous. The change in the color, the simple thing.
does. It also has that circus spotlight kind of feel to it. And I can't wait to see this all lit up.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
Right, who knows what's behind those doors for the interactive queue,
Yeah.
or the queue-less queue, as it were.
What a great flight! Okay, everybody, now just stay seated until Dumbo comes to a stop. Then you can walk to the nearest exit. See you soon!
That's awesome. That's awesome. Really, really, really well done. Taking a simple hub and spoke spinner like that and enhancing it so much with simple things like light and water.
And
And doing it such a
and
way, you know,
doubling
the fire
it
hoses
and making it interactive queue.
Yeah.
When that's going to be open, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And even as we were walking through the Barnstormer queue, like we were having fun sort of looking around, because especially us, we know that there's going to be some little tributes in there as well too that we should be looking for.
Hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. And for all you grown-up types.
Again, there's that sort of view. And you're right, this is a beautiful time of night. And it really sort of opens up when you go around, that sense of the castle. You can see the extension of the castle walls as well too. I dig it. Scale of 1 to 10 so far?
Scale of 1 to 10. I mean, for overall storytelling and overall all the details, it has to be a 10.
I'm going to turn it to 11.
I wanted
come
to,
on.
but I was going to leave it for someone else.
Awesome. So, again, Storybook Circus in somewhat soft, but it's pretty open for soft openings. Oh, there's the fireworks behind the castle right now. It is going to open officially on March 31st, the rest of Fantasyland with the Be Our Guest restaurant, the Journey under the sea with the Little Mermaid, and all the elements. Yeah. We'll be opening up later on this year, probably late summer. Glenn, Ryan, Scott, John, everybody else who sort of joined us tonight. Everybody who was watching live in the box or watching on YouTube or on the blog, thank you again for joining us. Also, quick plug, don't forget to go and check out
Googling WDW.com.
GOOGLIN.
And WDW.
One G.
There's only G at the beginning.
Right, no apostrophe.
Here, let me write it.
Googling WDW.com. I'll put a link to it this week's show notes. Check it out. Also, prettygoodmovieride.com. And of course, mainstgazette.com. Ryan vlogs every day. Thanks, a lot of content I can expect just when we get some good Storybook Circus. Oh, and yeah,
Absolutely.
Scott Otis from
Otisburg.
Otis. Thank you very much.
Small little place.
And of course, Dumbo, Timothy Mouse, and thanks again to all the Imagineers who put this together. We are loving it. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. I'm Lou Mongello. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. I love that. I love the reds and the it's so awesome.
I couldn't get Googling. Googling WDW. Someone's got a random site. So I don't think the person got Googling it. It's like a Facebook. Yeah, it's Facebook.
What a great flight! Okay, everybody, now just stay seated until Dumbo comes to a stop. Then you can walk to the nearest exit. See you soon!